of the boys. I thought we got after it there for the time that we were out there. We got 7 of the 10 practices, and I thought we saw a lot of the things that we needed to see. Of course, that continues into the summer. With the evaluation of personnel and people vying for trying to get out there and be that varsity player where they're contributing. So was really proud of the boys. Felt like had a pretty good winter session, spring session, and now excited about getting into the summer.
Spring game got washed out. We won't talk about that a whole lot because there's not anything you can do about that, but that had to hurt a little bit.
Yeah, that's always, just we're going to move it because of weather. Knew that the weather was coming in that Thursday night, so we were going to move it. And it's just, I know that sounds so easy, but in the spring, it just was a whole lot more to do on short notice. Finding bus drivers, logistically. We had graduation on Tuesday night. They had it on Friday night, so both those nights were out of the question. Just couldn't have it on those nights, and it just turned out a little bit more challenging than probably I anticipated. When we got into it.
Right. Yeah, for a guy that likes to fly under the radar a little bit, that's going to be tough with LSU commit and 4-star recruit JT Lindsey in the backfield. You and I have watched him for years and know how special he's always been. The outside world is seeing that now, more offers than you've ever seen. Tell us about the work of JT and how special he is.
Yeah, he's a high character kid, as you and I have talked about, numerous times. Any conversation, we've always talked about the work ethic, the character, just what he does every single day. You and I've seen it for a long time.
Right.
How easy he is to deal with, how respectful he is. There's a confidence, but he presents himself as extremely humble. I always make sure that, I want to say something about Miss Kendra because she's just done such a job with him. So no, I'm extremely excited that he got some of that behind him, that the LSU offer came through, and knowing that that's where you want to go. Like what else are we waiting on? Let's go ahead and go. And I hope that I know that he's going to have some opportunities to do some things this summer and some camps and different things that I guess we'll get into here. That are coming in the coming weeks. Take part in, but now I hope we can focus on let's go leave a legacy behind at Ash and concentrate on the summer and what we want to accomplish with our senior year of football. But super proud of him. Can't wait to obviously coach him one more year, but can't wait to see what he goes and accomplishes in his career.
Two great things out of that too. You talked about his mom on there, and anybody that's been around him knows that she's just as tough on him and as loving on him as anybody is, especially if he tried to take it out of bounds.
No doubt. She's phenomenal. And that's the case with so many of our kids through the years and our parents, just the locker room, just the support that they get at home, how hard they're pushed, the support that we get as coaches, those are very important into building a successful program and a culture inside your locker room. And, parents play a huge part of that. I think we've got some of the best, so I'm extremely appreciative of all the support that we get there. And obviously Miss Kendra certainly a great of what it means to be a supportive parent.
So, Coach, we were able to run into JT at the Crawfish Bowl that you guys had, the fundraiser that was there, and we continue to tell story after story about what a special kid he is. But he made his way around to the vehicle just to come by and say hi, and I thought that was great. One of the questions that I asked him was, "Man, was it a tough decision? How did you decide on LSU?" And you know what he told me? He's like, "Well, it's LSU." So that's great to see. I mean, that speaks volumes.
Yeah, I mean it's a lifetime decision being an LSU Tiger. If you're gonna make your life here, I mean it's a lifetime decision. So I do think that it's a great place, and honestly, they got a lot of great things going down there. I think it's great for him, great for us, and really looking forward to this senior year though. First, before we turn him loose.
Look, he's got such big things around him on there. And one thing it does, having a running back like that, is it takes a little pressure off of an incoming quarterback that you're having to replace. There, you lose your starting quarterback in Feaster. Ty Feaster did such a great job, such a battler on there. What's that quarterback battle shaping up like?
Uh, it's shaping up. Very proud of the two, Carson Sellers and Max Gassett. They've worked extremely hard. I feel like they had good springs, a lot of positive things and all that. And, we'll just continue to go into the summer. Uh, feel good about the future of that spot. Feel good about those two. I mean, they're both really high character kids that love the game and are super competitive. Uh, so we're in a good spot. As far as a program and a team. With those two, and really looking forward to getting in the summer. I mean, and all that'll be determined, by what takes place on the field. I mean, that's there's, you just got to let it play out. I mean, obviously, I've done, so much evaluation to this point. You've watched them play, and you see what everybody brings to the table. But I feel really good about those two as we sit here and talk right now, heading into the summer.
That's such a great problem, for lack of a better word, to have on there. Historically, you guys have hammered the 7-on-7 trail over the summer. Is that pretty much the setup?
Play the local 7-on-7 here. We'll go to a couple of tournaments. I mean, keeps the kids competing, keeps them active. Uh, you got to be careful with 7-on-7. I mean, it's just not football. I mean, so
Right.
ultimately, scrimmage and the jamboree and those early games, the game's just different when you get the pads on. It's just not 7-on-7 at that point. So while that's a part of the evaluation process, that's not the end all be all. When those pads come on and it's live, is ultimately the thing that where people begin to separate. Uh, with him in. So yes, we will be on the 7-on-7 trail a lot, and those are not the only two, and are the only position I guess that are in battle. There's
That's
battle
right.
on at every position, and you're trying to create depth, and more you have that can contribute, the better you're going to be as a team. So those things, those at multiple positions are going on, and we mentioned JT. Obviously, we feel incredible about JT, but also have back in Vaughn Darbon, who had an incredible junior year, came back over to us, came back over to the offensive side of the ball from defense, and so we feel really good about that spot. There's battles going on up and down the offensive line and wide receiver. At the end of the day, you can only put 11 players out there,
Right.
and,
Well,
so
one thing that you talk about only putting 11 players out there. You guys did such a good job of getting those two tight ends on the field, and that's just as crucial of a position on that offensive side, heck, as anything has for you.
turning those two is huge. Grayson's going to play a little bit both ways. He was more of a defense first player in the spring, but we kind of know what we have in him as far as the what he can do is that tight end. So obviously with Tanner and Grayson both returning, feel good about that. We got to continue to develop that spot. That's a very important role. While what recognition it gets or what the stat sheet always looks like, the role that position plays, versatility that it brings to us. That's a very important. So we've got to continue to develop that spot even behind those two.
Well, you do that, and go back to Darbone too. When we talked to JT a little bit on there, his eyes lit up as much about Vaughn being in the backfield with him as anything did, and it's good to see that kind of support because heck, you don't really know who's coming at you.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, there's a lot of plays to be played over the course of a ball game. So, uh, obviously, we feel really good about Vaughn. I mean, there's just position battles going everywhere, all across the defensive front. The middle of the defense is something that we've got to get, figured out and settled in. There's a lot of kids that are in some, position battles, and really, it's not just because you start week one don't mean you're going to start week two. The season is long, and we're just trying to get build as much depth and kids that can go out there and contribute and help us win a ball game as we possibly can. Uh, on our roster. and so that'll be the focus heading into summer. But as we started talking, I feel I'm proud of the kids and kind of the spring that we've had, and ready to get rolling next week with summer workouts.
What do you have them do in the weight room over the summer? What's kind of the plan?
So we go 5 days a week. We're Monday, Wednesday, Friday in the weight room. So we bring the varsity in from 7 to 8:30 and lift on Wednesdays, and then we'll be on the field on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we'll have you know a 14 period practice. It'll be our normal practice schedule. Of course, it's non padded, but we're out there getting practice. Friday we'll bring them all in together. Uh, when we're done with the varsity, I guess I should say, we bring the freshmen in from 8:30 to 10. So that's kind of our structure.
Is
Monday
that incoming freshmen or freshmen that were on the field last year?
coming freshmen. Getting assembled, never knowing who you're. I'll figure out who the freshman team is here in the coming weeks. Just trying to get them all assembled, trying to get them used to where they've been having their summers off, and
right.
This is a
Ain't
little
no more
getting into, and for the most part, our kids have been really good through the years, but there is uh, certainly an adjustment period. For the workload, the level of intensity that they're being exposed, trying to teach them the game, the just the very ABCs of the game, how to communicate the game. There's a we try to get accomplished in the summer, so that when the fall rolls around, they're at least far enough along where that they can begin to get incorporated into a practice where we're able to keep the pace of practice and the number of reps that we've got to get with Friday night coming on top of us. But yeah,
look, and there's not. We've seen the schedule. It's Friday nights in the fall. Ain't nothing easy about week 1 to week 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Nothing's easy next year.
no, it's certainly an exciting and challenging time, and we need to put our head down, go to work, know what's in front of us, and fall's going to be here. I just want to make sure we're ready to put our best foot forward as we get at it.
Well, Coach,
A long way to go. But the kids are doing their best. Trying to make the progress that we need to make.
I don't know that any conversation that I have with you doesn't end up with, we got a long way to go. We got a lot to work on. It doesn't matter when it's at.
Never ends, and I know I probably, you and I've been doing this together for a long time now.
Right.
I probably am repetitive, but to still, I guess it's Coach Saban coined the process. It's just a process, and you can't cheat it. And you do. I mean, no, you just always there's always so much room for improvement, and we've just always tried to take the approach of how do we take care of what's right here in front of us right now, make the most of every opportunity, and hopefully that gives us an opportunity to be one of the teams that's in the contention and when it really counts late in the year.
Well, Coach, we're excited about this upcoming season in the fall. We're going to visit with you a lot during the summer, if that's okay. Can't wait to get back to walk on, so we're going to have to do it this way, Coach. But thank you for taking your time and visiting with us, and we'll let you get back to your family.